I tweeted today that we'll build this movement one person by one person by one person. And we may start off small here today, but you guys are passionate and that'll only rub off onto a whole lot of other people. So thank you very much for coming out. I'm going to give you a little bit more of a bang for your buck. I might just be a bit longer than the other two guys. I'll try and keep it short and sweet though. Why are we here today? Well, we're here today for one reason only, and that is because the UN has decided that they want to interfere in our rights. And you've heard that already. I'm going to be a bit more specific. The UN was formed originally to go around the world and try and stop wars, either internally or external fights. And we know they've been deplorable at that. They've been terribly unsuccessful. And so in order to try and make themselves more relevant, they've looked around and said, no, I know what we can do. We can just rock up and tell other countries, especially little old New Zealand, what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. So let me tell you a little bit more about this organisation. Their record on human rights is deplorable. So why, if their record on human rights is so bad, why do we think they're going to get migration right? That is just an impossibility. The Human Rights Council is currently headed by Saudi Arabia. Can you, I mean, that is just, it's incredible. But when you look a little bit, and Saudi Arabia is rated number 149 of 159 countries on the Human Freedom Index, produced by the Cato Institute. Now that means that they're right up there as the worst on human rights. But now they're heading it up. Over 50% of the other nations that are on the Human Rights Council are in the top 50% of those countries that have a shocking human rights record. However, New Zealand and Australia, well, we hardly even mention because we're down at around about number 5. So you can see the difference between the way in which we want to go about things and the way other countries do, especially countries from the UN. I did a little bit more research. 29 countries still practice female gender mutilation. 29 countries. 15 countries still practice stoning of women. Worse, some countries authorize it by law. Every one of these countries is a member of the UN who sit there in judgment of us, wanting to bring in these draconian requirements, and they do nothing about these countries. These countries sit there making these decisions without any pushback from the UN. The UN doesn't sanction them, it doesn't fine them, it doesn't expel them, it does nothing. But you might also be interested in a few other UN scandals. I'm not going to go into great detail. The oil for food relief in Iraq, the tsunami relief in Indonesia. If you look at those, they are all scandals involving the huge amounts of money that have gone missing under the stewardship of the United Nations. And remember, the United Nations, it's not this sort of, it's 159 countries. And we're going to be controlled by them and by their record on human rights. It's atrocious. But they've covered up the UN, the transnational network of pedophiles within their peacekeeping forces and also within the UN. How can we trust an organisation that is so badly run? It is not possible. But guess what they've done recently? They've decided that they're going to be investigating New Zealand and Australia's human rights record. This mob are going to, sure, I know we haven't got everything right in New Zealand and there's ways to go, but by comparison, there's 100 other countries that they should be investigating before they get to us. And they won't do that. Why? Because all of the members of the United Nations say, don't worry about us, we don't want us looked at. You sit down there to New Zealand and bully the shit out of them. So with such a corrupt Human Rights Council, I've said this before, what makes them think that we're going to believe them that they can actually organise something like the free movement of migrants around the country? But they don't want any impediments in place, do they? They want open borders. And that's what we've got to fight against. Because sure as hell, we are going to be copying some of those so-called migrants coming into this country. You've heard a lot about it, so I won't repeat it. But I'll just use an example. We've been told that there are 3 boatload of Indians heading for New Zealand. And they will have been, if it's true, they will have been got together by human traffickers. The worst of the worst. Whether they actually get here or not is in the lap of the gods.
The Navy will go and pick them up.
Of course they will. The Navy will go and pick them up.
On our money.
And they are nothing more than welfare income, as I call them. They're not proper. Most of them are just coming here. And why are they coming here? Well, why? Because of our welfare program. You know, and that is one of the biggest problems. They'll rock into our country. The government will wave them through because they don't want to go through, as these 2 guys have said, the court cases that will be brought against them. They'll wave them on through, and what do they get when they get here? Free housing. Mr. Twyford, you haven't got enough houses to give these people. That's what they'll get. They will get free schooling, free education, free medical, and we'll give them some money to live on. And we've got people around the streets here of Christchurch living in cars. We've got people who can't afford to put shoes on their kids at the beginning of this new term for the new year. And yet we'll give all these people anything they want.
Mr. Speaker, in that case, in this case you're referring to, I've read the statement from our Immigration Department, which is warning people such as these ones coming on the fishing boats supposedly, that they can be detained for 6 months or longer. But then if we read the Global Compact, it's saying detention should be used as a last resort only. So that's just one simple instance, just showing what a shambles the thing is, when you've got UN saying all this, and sovereign nations already have their well-set protocols and procedures for immigration.
Well, you're right, of course, and the fact is that the government won't want to test that in a court. That's why they'll just wave them straight on through.